Okay. With that being said, does anyone have anything else to add to the agenda? Okay, let's start with a quick Grape update, if you'll tolerate that, John.
That means I have to be awake. The board layout is probably 97% complete. The thing that's tripped me up is the switch mode power supply chip has to be changed out. And the one I'm looking at is not easily hand solderable because it's got power pads in the bottom. So I've also got to make sure I get the switching frequency right so it disperses itself among the frequencies we're looking at with the first, third, fifth, and seventh harmonics. So it's sort of back to the drawing board for that because I had done that originally. Bob and Bill, which I will refer to as the busy bees, have been very busy writing code and getting stuff done. So I'm quite pleased with progress. I still owe them a document on how to set up the SSH key for a Raspberry Pi into GitHub. And I owe Bill a description of how the data collection engine operates. So other than that, haven't been up to much. Back to you.
Okay. I didn't know if Gary wanted to be the person to talk about this, but we may be updating. So there's a ham side video on the website for the Grape 1. And Gary sent me an email about maybe updating and reorganizing the information that's on that page a little bit. So I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. Because other than that, I don't think we have much to talk about today. I know if Nathaniel was here, he'd probably ask us to talk a little bit about Hamvention. Gary, you're still muted. Is that perhaps?
Sorry about that, my bad. If you don't mind, I'll share my screen and I'll jump over to the Grape page. Okay, let me do that.
I was wondering why you weren't taking, and I was like, I really assumed that Gary would want it.
All right, on the good news side, notice up here in the corner, we all missed this. It originally said Grape version 1.2 at HamSci. So Bob and I think it's Nick at the ARL fixed that. So that means at least we're accurate. So that was a minor thing, but that's important. So anyhow, as we were going through something, I don't remember what it was last week, Nathaniel said it was just I think it was Ward Silver also made a comment too, is it's really not a very good, I guess you call it a cookbook on why to build a Grape, what you need to do to order it. I mean, there's a lot of information here on how to get it up and running, that sort of thing. And there's some old, essentially out of date information on the bottom of the webpage. So Nathaniel was asking as a group if we could figure out how to clean this whole thing up. And I don't know if somebody wants to volunteer to do that. If you leave it up to me, it's going to be quite a while because I got a backlog of stuff I'm doing for HamSci. But I think one thing at least I wanted to ask, especially I know Jim K4BSE is here. Some of this stuff I wrote, well over a year ago, and if it goes away, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. Jim, I know you wrote some of the documentation that's again about a year or so ago. Do you mind if we clean that stuff off and take it off the page? Try to figure out what we need and what we don't need, but some of this stuff might have to go away. Is that okay with you, Jim?
Yeah, in fact, I was going to offer to take a look at that page.
That would be perfect. I mean, we're not in any kind of big rush. As I've said in other calls and stuff, the goal is when we get to the Dayton Hamvention to have a lot of obviously interaction with the attendees there. And we've got these little, I don't know if my camera will show them right now. We've got these little cards to hand out now to drive people to our website and whatnot. We hope to hand out. We're supposed to have, we should have some of the the eclipse maps, and maybe Christina's Doppler illustration that's been used in a lot of places as large posters, so we can use those as props to talk to people. But after the Ham Fest, we want to drive them back here and have a nice, clear, concise picture on why they'd want to build a Grape 1.12, how to do it, and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, Jim, if you'd look at that page and make recommendations, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. I don't think we want to encourage people at this point to build a Grape 1 anymore, do we?
That's not the goal, no.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
going to be leaning on Grape 2 very heavily when it comes out.
I was gonna ask, it might be nice to have that form for like the volunteer Grape 2 form somewhere on this page, like if you're interested in a Grape 2.
Actually, a geographic map, and you might indicate where we're looking for people. And if you're in these, little red sections on the United States map, please sign up when we want to get a hold of you. That probably would help Gary a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think as far as the Grape 1 goes, we just want to maybe put some archival stuff in there. It is still in use, but I don't know that we want to really do anything to encourage people to build it at this point.
Yeah,
Well, when you say
Oh.
Grape 1, Jim, are you talking the old one or the new 1.12?
Well, I guess I'm jumping ahead. What do we want this page to do at this point?
I feel like getting the Grape 2 are probably, because there isn't going to be a finite supply of the Grape 2, but in theory, anyone could build a Grape 1. So I don't want to just like throw the page away, because there's a good chance that we'll be getting more Grape 1s, especially with the new Grape 1. But
Right,
I
that's
mean,
exactly right.
We want to do it want to orient it toward the Grape 1. What is it, 1.2?
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think at the
'cause,
moment, very geared towards building the Grape and just getting started with the video. I do wonder if we should have like more of an introduction kind of in the traditional sense. Like, this is what it's, I mean, I think the assumption when this page was made was probably that someone had just listened to a talk on the Grape and the science goals behind the Grape, and then had gone to the page just to hear about the hardware.
Yeah, that was the goal originally.
Yeah. So I don't know if it would complicate it to put like a bit more of a table of context structure in and start with like, what is the Grape, what its goal, and if people have heard that, they'll just scroll past it. But if we're handing out cards at Hamvention, I think it's more likely that we'll get people who have never heard of the Grape or who aren't familiar with the science goals, who are just going straight to the website. So it makes sense to update it. I was gonna say, might be able to like write some stuff for it, but I don't know if I'll have it up by next week or anything.
Okay.
See, what I can do is when I get this next board turn pushed out and they're in the manufacturing space, I could help somebody or go through it and make some notes on it and take a look at it. Because I know there were some things in there like the SA612 link to Arrow. That's already vaporized. They're out of stock. But there is a new one that I put out to Christina in the new bill of materials that should be on the website someplace. But the new bill of materials has a second option that you can, they still, at least as of 2 days ago, still had them.
This is Bob. So I actually was working on building one of these,
Uh-oh.
1.2, and I was going to bring up about the SA612. I was able to get one from China.
Yeah.
It was very expensive. I brought it in, but it sounds like you're going to use a different chip.
Nope, same chip.
Okay, so if I get that, but then the other question is, should I be building a 1.2 or should I be just waiting?
Well, I think everybody's made a lot of good comments this morning. I want to reiterate something that Nathaniel said over the last couple of weeks. There's kind of a progression. There's a certain, and there's a lot of us here, people just want something they can build, put on the air, and then contribute to the project. And the Grape 1.12 is absolutely perfect for that. So by all means, we want to keep that alive and promote it. The second thing is the Grape 2, when it comes out, it'll be more expensive. It's going to be commercially built and fabricated, at least the boards are. And it's going to be more of a system integration project than a build a PC board and put it on the air kind of thing. So I think there's definitely room for both the 1.12 and the future Grape 2 going forward. So that's why I think the ideas have been thrown out this morning for cleaning up this page all make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the
And
Grape,
I have no problem if, go ahead, John.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if people have got ideas of text and stuff, they want to put it on the page, the introductions, and Rachel used some ideas how to structure it. I can find the time to help implement that stuff if you guys can do the write-ups and stuff. The
Yeah.
other question I wanted to ask real quick, I know Christina's been working on this page and doing some updates and stuff to it. I mean, some of this stuff is a little out of date, and I'm not sure how busy she is or with her new position and that sort of stuff. So maybe some of the stuff that I know is definitely wrong, I can go in and fix, like some of this right away, just because I don't want to be driving people in the wrong spot.
Yeah, she just got back from a week and a half vacation, so that's why she's been absent.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I will take a look at it and come up with some thoughts. My thoughts are to orient the page toward the 1.12 and just we'll have some motivational stuff to begin with, then the 1.12, and then just some archival information on the 1.1.
Yeah, if you scroll down a little bit to the pictures of the Grape itself, are they in
Well,
that?
this was the old PowerPoint I'd put together.
Okay, yeah, those boards there. The version 1.1, that means to change that to the version 1-12.
Okay,
And the bill of material, I think Christina put up there. If you open that, I don't know if you have, yeah, that's the old one. Because I've updated that with a second source.
I thought I saw the link to the bomb on here, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah, it may be a work in progress.
Oh, there you go. There it is,
Oh.
John.
Yeah, that looks right. The CD something or other. It should load the cart and have 28 parts, which are a pain in the butt to load by hand. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I did it the first time.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
go
well,
ahead.
okay, we got a plan, I think, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, went ahead and made a Word document, so we're all working off the same plan setup. I'll probably throw in start with like a table of contents of things that we need to do. And then hopefully anyone who'd like to go ahead and grab that link and we can kind of work on things. I will occasionally read it, but so we definitely want science goals introduction.
I need access. Okay, I'll request it.
Oh, it should be open. Oh, only people with that. I see. Yep. Anyone with the link.
Yes, I can't
Okay, that
work
should
on
work.
it. Sorry.
Mhm.
Bye. Do I get off that
Okay,
easy?
it's open for, it should be open for people who don't have case IDs as well. But so we definitely want a science goals introduction. Great.
Oh, your name sure shows up in purple when you're typing. That's cool.
Does it?
Yep.
It's purple. Great
It's
purple.
magic.
Okay. So I will continue adding and meddling things in that.
Are we calling the
Okay.
original Grape the 1.1 or the 1.0?
Well, the board rev was 1.11, and that's what everything points to.
Okay,
I mean, the original sequence is 1.0, and I had a footprint problem with the op amp, so that went to 1.1. I fixed that, and then there was one other or two other issues that I fixed that were small changes. And that's where 1.1 came from. I mean, we could call it, and it wouldn't take much time for me to change it to be version 1.2 instead of 1.12, but it's kind of semantics at this point.
Yeah,
Well, we
I
also
don't know
might-
if it's worth any time.
Yeah, it's probably not worth the effort.
It would still be good to have some way to differentiate the two easily. And if you only have
Yeah,
1.1 down there, that's wrong. It's 1.1.
Right. You're
So,
absolutely right,
so,
Dave.
so either change it to 1.2 or always write it with 1.11 or 1.12 and make it clear.
Yeah, I would vote for the latter, Dave, just because like the league video, if we change it to 1.2, then I had to go back to the league and have them update their video and that sort of thing. So
And so what do they refer to it as?
I'm trying to remember what I said in the video. Knowing me, I probably said Grape 2.
no, you had it right, John. You definitely
okay.
had it right.
Okay.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm
I know too.
confused. So what is it?
It's version
The current one
1.1.
is 1.12. We'll leave that alone.
Okay,
So I would suggest that references to the previous should always be 1.11.
Correct.
I thought we just said 1, 2.
No,
Okay, well,
that's the error.
3 digits, 2 to the right of the decimal, 1 to the left.
Yeah,
1.11.
Was the old one, correct.
Okay,
And that's how it should be referenced in anything that we use so that it's differentiated from the 1.12. Because if you have 1.1 and then you have 1.12, people will go, did they forget to put something on the first one?
Right.
so the new one is 1.12.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I think I've got it in my head now, maybe.
yeah, and if no one's opposed, we may want to add either a table of contents or tabbing or something so that if somebody's only interested in archival information for that they have an old Grape, they can just click the link and go straight to the bottom. Or if they end up wanting a Grape, 2, they can go straight to that section of the page.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's easy to do that in a website with the links and whatnot. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably eventually one day we might have enough information to like split up the pages. I don't know if we're there now. Or if that would just like needlessly kind of redirecty.
Yeah.
So I think I'm
maybe
gonna-
we'll have a little history paragraph in there. Who knows? But you get the information together, and I can help put it up there.
So you
Does
want to
anyone have anything?
change your archival information to Grape 1.11
Yes.
on your
Yes.
document there. I was going to change it on you, but I don't have edit access.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna see. Anyone with the link can.
So I think if I hit request it. Nope, I think you already got it.
But I'll try again. Do I need a new link? Change the edit after the fact.
Maybe
think so.
that's it. Let me close it and open it again.
I'll try it again. It's the same link.
Oh,
Oh, perfect. And ironically, you are purple too.
all right.
Everyone is.
Cool.
Everyone who's working the Grape is secretly purple. But
Yeah.
did anyone have anything else they want to talk about like Hamvention or anything?
I don't know if Bill
So I
or
think-
Bob want to talk about anything.
I've got the command interpreter running on the Pico, and I've got, I should be able to check in the data simulator today.
Oh, wow.
Mostly working. And then I'm going to turn my attention to the SI 5351 program.
Yeah.
I figure that should be next.
Yeah, I think the board is safe enough now that I can do probably a 5 board turn and get those back pretty quick and get those out, because that's really going to be the basis of what you guys are working on. So you can
That'd be great. I
what
can
I'm
connect
finding
up my 5351 board here just for what I'm doing, but eventually,
Right.
pretty soon I'll need the 80D
yeah,
on there. Yeah.
for diagnostic reasons, I'm going to want to be able to take a 1-second burst of data and store it in a file somewhere, but we'll talk about that offline.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe, but I might be able to do it with what I've got, but it may make sense to not do the header stuff, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So I retrieved the old hat and
Oh, yeah.
put it on my old head. And so the good news is at least I'm back to where I was with the old hat. It's working. Now I'm working on adding the Pico stuff so I can get both of them running at the same time. And I had done all the Pico work on another Pi 4 because I needed the pins that I couldn't get to in the hat. So I'll have to re-implement some things.
Well, you can solder the pins that are there, but yeah, that's tricky if you don't have the tools to do that.
I can do it, but I don't want to kill the hat. Yeah, so that's where it is.
Okay. But that should give you the magnetometer interface as well as the
Right.
U-blocks. So that's the 2 big things.
Yeah. And then once I get the Pico stuff running, we'll have the whole system.
Right. Right. And if I didn't have to change the switch mode power supply, I'd be ordering boards this morning.
So are we chatting tomorrow at 11, John?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hopefully I can get the SSH guide out before then to see how you guys did.
Okay. Any other news, comments, questions, updates?
Yeah, if anybody has contacts, University of Texas, a university or otherwise techie club in San Antonio, and one along the Pacific Northwest, maybe University of Washington, it occurred to me that for the eclipses, the path of the April eclipse is pretty close to the Great Circle path between Austin and Cleveland, and both are in totality. So it's a somewhat different experiment than we've been planning with WWV, to be across the eclipse path than to be along it. I've sent some emails to the 2 major clubs in Austin and the University Club and gotten only one peripheral response. The October eclipse, similarly, San Antonio to roughly Corvallis, is pretty nearly along the Great Circle path and might be interesting. So if you have any contacts, let me know. And if you have any thoughts on how to set up that experiment, let me know.
I'll make one more quick comment. I'm planning to be in Albuquerque for the October eclipse. So if there's anything that needs to be, that I could do by bringing something out there and setting it up, I'm available.
I'm planning on being in Corpus Christi for that one in October, which is right in the middle of the path with the longest totality.
Well, Corpus Christi may help. We need somebody at the other end. So I have sent some inquiries to the University of Washington Club. And if you have other contacts up there, again, let me know. I think to do this well would require some digital beaconing starting a week before, going through the eclipse, and continuing a week after. So it is going to require planning and a commitment on stations' parts.
That won't be practical for me.
Okay.
Okay. Any other updates? Because if not, we can end this early.
Big up for last week.
Thank you.
Don't forget about the FMT tonight.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Very
So
cool.
this is since it's a short one, we should say 72.
That's
Yeah.
right.
72.5.
And note that the FMT is late this round. It begins at 0300 Zulu.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
W8EDU will enter.
I will be there. I'm flexing my flex.
And sleep.
Now, is this the 4 o'clock with the same Zoom address, or is this a different conference?
The 4 o'clock call today has a different address.
Which one? What is the 4 o'clock one? I'm not familiar with that one.
About the solar eclipse QSO party, planning for that and the other
Oh.
events.
Okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't supposed to be someplace.
Hey,
Okay.
John, while I've got you on,
Yeah.